Hello folks, welcome back to the Play School. So it's still Christmas here in Los Angeles, and so as such we are going to learn Bobby Helms' classic Jingle Bell Rock. Now this is a great track. Pretty much everyone I teach here in America loves this, so let's have a go at it today. As usual, we're going to deal with the chords and the key and the rhythm and the structure first, and then at the end I'm going to teach you that iconic intro and a little bit of extra jazz for your left hand. So let's go. Okay, so Jingle Bell Rock in its original recorded form is in the key of D, which is going to give us F sharp, C sharp, okay? We're going to stick pretty much in those palette of notes with a couple of bits of colour here and there. So get familiar with that. And we are going to start on a D chord. So let's take D here, around middle C in root position. D, F sharp, A. What I want to do is take the A off the top and put it on the bottom. Second inversion, that is. Now, that's going to last us for 2.5 measures. And in terms of your rhythm, we can at least start as a starting point, go. So that's just beats with your right hand, measures or chord changes with your left hand. If you're feeling a little more adventurous, then there's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4. Is a great development and also a lovely jumping off point, because you can kind of vary the eighth notes up there, be as creative as you can with those eighth notes. So that's our second chord, halfway through the third measure. And it is D sharp diminished. Now, D sharp diminished is based off D sharp minor, but I don't really want to get into that theory right now, so I'm just going to tell you the easy way to find it. D and D sharp diminished are actually only different by one note, and the clue is in the name. It's not D diminished, it's D sharp diminished. So you're just going to move your D with your left hand and this D in the middle here up to the D sharp, and that gives you your D sharp diminished chord. D sharp, F sharp and A. And it's often used, in this case and many others, as a way of getting from our one chord to our two chord. And our two chord is E minor. So E minor is E, G, B. Because we're already in this position, we're just going to get up to our E minor. Now we actually want E minor 7, which means we need to drop this one back down to the D. Oops. Right. And then our last little chord we need to know here is A7. Now, let's take our A7, A, C sharp and E. To find the 7, I would ordinarily be saying, let's drop that. But actually that starts to get a little bit far away from here. So actually, we've got the G that we need up there. And our A7 in root position is A, C sharp, E, G. We can play that for sure. What I might recommend here is we don't need the E actually. And that means that our change, I think it sounds nicer just to go from G, B, E minor 7, B, D, G, E. And then A7 being A, C and G. Okay, so just expanding away. 3 times at 2 beats each, and then now the jingle has begun. 3, 4, twice at 4 beats each. So let's try that verse all the way through. We go round it again. Jingle bells chime, jingle bell time. The only difference is we don't do that extended 4 beat section that we did. We actually go E minor to A7 and finish on a D. 2 5, 1 to get us to the end. So we're up to dancing, dancing in Jingle Bell Square, in the frosty air, come from here to there. Finish off with D in the same position that we started. Okie dokie, our chorus section. We've finished on D here, and we're going to go to a G chord. Most easily found, G, B, D. But we've already got the D in the middle, so let's just pivot around that D to go up to a G. G, B, D. What a bright time, what a bright time. G sharp diminished. Now, G sharp diminished is based on G sharp minor, blah, blah, blah. How are we going to find it? All we're going to do is move our G up to G sharp, and that is our G sharp diminished chord. It's the right time, back to D. Still a pivot move. Now we're going to step up to E major. We're going to go back to that G sharp that we just used a second ago. Instead of the G we used for E minor, it was there. So E major, E, G sharp and B. It's E7. Best way, best use of the root note drop. Finish on an A7, back where we had it before, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, G I should say. So let's just take that chorus all together. So we've gone G sharp diminished, and D in the same position. Jump up, E, drop to E7, and back to A7, rocking in a one-horse sleigh. And that's your chorus. Okay, so this is a nice little structural touch here. It appears to go back to another verse here. We'll call it verse 3. But what it really does is starts like a verse and evolves into like an ending of the whole kind of passage. So we're back here. This is Giddy Up Jingle Horse. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around. There are 3 full measures there rather than this chord. Now we need B7 here. Which is funny, I just said instead of this chord, but actually B7, if we put a B with this D sharp diminished chord, we get B7. I'll tell you why, because B, D sharp and F sharp gives us our B chord. We do our root note drop to A to give us B7. Look, A, D sharp, F sharp, same as D sharp diminished. So we're going to go giddy up, horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Okay. Next we're on a G chord. We know this one. G, B, D. Just a shuffle really. G minor. There. So think about G in root position. Middle note would be B, which is what we drop to make it minor. So we're up here, G, B, D, still the B. And then we're going to finish with our E minor 7, A7, D again. Yes, this time. That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell. Just like in the frosty air, same change. So let's take that whole chorus. That's a verse 3 kind of outro bit. We've gone. Same as diminished D sharp, and then we're up to G. G minor, E minor 7, A7. That is all we need to know. Okay, so structurally, this piece is fairly simple. Okay, we've got our intro, which we're talking about in a couple of minutes. Then we're going to do 2 verses, verse 1 and 2. Then we'll have that chorus, and then we'll have our verse 3 outro kind of verse, which we just learned a second ago. Then after that, we will go back and do 1 verse. So we'll go straight to the first year rather than and then we will have another chorus. And then we'll do our verse 3 / outro verse. And there will be a slight change, which I'll tell you about right now. So let's imagine we've gone. So far, so similar. But then now we're going to use E7 instead of E major 7. So instead of, we're going to go. So now, instead of just our bottom fingers moving away, the top one is going to kind of slide down that half step as well. So that gives us, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell. That is the ending. Let me play you that last verse one more time. We'll just go from that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell rock. And there you have it. Okay, so 2 things I want to talk about with regards to some extra jazz. First of all, it's its left hand. Let's make this left hand bass line a little more interesting. And all we're going to do is use in 2 locations at first this major triad chords. We never play chords with a left hand, especially not in these classes. We don't in these classes. But what I imagine is that you are, right? There it is. It sounds awful. That's why we never play them. And I want you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple as that, right? Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing, jingle bell swing. Yeah? It's all it is right at the beginning. Then there's another place where we can slide it in as well. We can do in the middle, jingle bell time. It's a jingle time to rock your world. To go walking in a one-horse sleigh. So all we're doing, whenever we've got the time, maybe 1 measure is kind of fine. 2 measures for sure we want to play this. Is we're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just using the triad to give ourselves a bit of extra fun in the bass line. And since we just got to here, to go walking in a one-horse sleigh, riding, I imagine it probably is, we finished on an A. This is another really common bass technique that you're going to hear a lot. And to get back, we're about to go into Giddy Up Jingle Horse, but we're on A. And all we're going to do is walk down the scale. Yeah, A, G, F sharp, E, D. So all together, let's take on a bright time, it's the right time to rock your way. To go walking in a one-horse sleigh, jingle bell, etc., etc. So try that bass line out. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is this intro. Now, you may or may not have picked up that our intro is jingle bells, doo-doo-doo. Right, little takeoff there. And this Jingle Bells is great because it kind of fits under your fingers if you're playing a D major chord. D, F sharp, A. And what this introduction does is it takes that and develops it using the pentatonic scale, which many of you will know I really like to talk about. The pentatonic scale in this instance, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So that's D, E, F sharp, A, B. Or in our case, we want to worry about the A and the B down here. The pentatonic scale, so called because it only has 5 notes in every octave, and it's everywhere in terms of improvising and rock and roll and the blues. So, what are we going to do with Jingle Bells? Simple, start in the middle, and then stop top to bottom and back to middle, right? Middle, middle, top, bottom, and back to middle. And then just to finish it off in the actual song, on an A, right? And then we do this. Yeah, and that leads us into the song. So once we're happy with Jingle Bells, we can add in these 2 notes, okay? And lastly, see how you get on with that. Let me know in the comments any questions, and happy Christmas. I'll see you next year.